Hey, shalom, shalom. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praise to our power, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Racha HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the hopeful members of the elect scattered throughout the four winds of the earth, all right, that believe wholeheartedly in this true doctrine that's being pushed throughout the four winds of the earth for in hope of mercy and salvation, all right, during the time of Jacob's trouble, as well as when Yahweh Shai returns to the planet earth, all right, who are all Israelites, okay? Only Israelites will receive salvation, okay? And they will understand this gospel that's being taught, that's being preached. They will hear the warning of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? This will be a in the news type of video, okay? Finally got a chance to look over these articles that was sent to me by the Apostle of Ramla, Thawada, you know. And, you know, these are type of articles and things that I like to go into dealing with, you know, what this man has in store, all right, and this whole system that he's already built around us. We're just waiting for that next crisis, all right? Which this next one, you know, it's right around the corner. And, you know, I truly believe it's going to be the P word, you know, as it was in 2020, but on steroids, all right? The real thing, as well as coupled with what Esau is calling climate change or global warming, as well as these so-called blackouts, power outages, because everything is going to smack this place all at once, and not just this place, the entire planet Earth, all right, because they want to bring so much chaos and pandemonium out here that they want the people to basically, you know, throw in the white flag and come to them so that they can ultimately, you know, roll out the MOTB carpet for you and get that thing up in you, okay? That's what it's all about with these devils. That's their whole agenda, all right? So what I have is a couple of articles here. This first one here, it actually took me to a couple more articles. As you can see, the title, Who Member Wants to Run? Excuse me. Who member wants to run a simulation exercise before implementing the Demic Treaty, all right? And they've been talking about this since the beginning of this year, okay? They've been talking about this since the beginning of this year. They have about 196 countries who's on board, all right? And all they need is this next one to go down, all right? And we're starting to see news articles and reports, H1N51 type. Matter of fact, let me look right here on my phone. It was sent to brother sent it today. An article entitled "Developing Outbreaks of Malaria, H5N1, Swine Flu, and Monkeypox are suddenly popping up everywhere." So they right on cue, okay? A lot of you people's summer will be ruined by the prophecies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, okay? All your vacations, your trips that you're planning they're going to be ruined. All right, because I truly believe this is the time. We in that time to where once one thing hits, it's gonna be a avalanche of turmoil, destruction, distress. All right, famine. I didn't even mention the famine. All right, that's another part of it. All right, the famine. All right, people fed up. Okay, this place is literally on the brink of going haywire, man. This place is literally getting ready to turn up, as they say. Now, again, reading this title, it says, "Who member wants to run a simulation exercise before implementing a you know what treaty?" All right. Now, when you read down in this, which I clicked this here and it brought me to these, which I want to just show you briefly. This is a manifesto for preparedness, 3 tests of global reforms. Okay. Now we're just going to read through these. All right. It says, if a new outbreak of a disease with all over potential, I'm going to say it like that because I don't want them to flag this video, occurs somewhere in the world today. This is basically a outline, so to speak. Okay, a manifesto of what they would do. And I remember back in 2020, I've been looking for this video, for a minute now. But this is what Bill Gates of Hell was talking about in this video that he had did back in 2020, before the year 2021 changed. He was speaking about this type of shit heavy, all right, because they've already had this on the books. All right, this is a plan that's in the works. The super elite around the world, beginning with the elite banking families, they get their orders from the banking families and they play these things out on the surface. Okay, guys like Klaus Schwab, Noah Harari, Bill Gates of Hell. All right, the world leaders, because they're all involved in it. Okay, but I'm gonna just read through these. This is a basically an outline, a manifesto for them to be prepared for the next one. Now remember when Bill and Melinda said the next one will get your attention, okay? Because this is when they're going to roll out full force the capacity of their might, all right? And a good depiction to see this is to watch the movie Songbird. All right, it came out, and I believe it came out in 2021, right after the so-called CV Uno Nueve scandal. Right after that, that's when that movie Songbird came out. All right, and disregard the love story about it. Just look at how society is ran. This is the type of control that they looking to have on society, okay? And here's the paperwork on it, okay? It says, can we be confident that every country now has the capability to detect and contain it? No. Can we be confident that crucial information will be shared rapidly and transparently? No. Can we be confident that healthcare workers will have the resources and protections needed for their work? No. Can we be confident that personnel, protective equipment, diagnostics, therapeutics, and jump shots will be channeled first to those in need rather than those who can afford to pay? No. Okay. Can we be confident that all nations will act promptly, effectively, and in concert to stop its further spread? No. Can we expect a different outcome to the next global health crisis? No. All right. And this is all what you call what's the word? predictive programming within the paperwork. Okay? It says this is why current global reforms of the scandemic prevention, preparedness, and response are of historic importance. Through them, the world can transform preparedness in 2023, setting a course towards greater safety from scandemics, epidemics, and other health emergencies. Ensuring the success forms depends upon the ambition and sustained commitment of leaders who must take collective action for the common good, which is essential to protect the health and well-being of their own people. As has often been said, no one is safe until all are safe. Now, this is just reminding me of a scripture, and we're going to go to it, all right? And I'm going to pull this back up because I want to read this one again, where it states here, can we be confident that crucial information will be shared rapidly and transparently? Now, the way information is going to be shared rapidly and transparently is by what? You got it. You guessed it. The MOTB. All right? And I'm going to show you in this same article, when we go down further, how they mention it. All right? They're not calling it the CHIP. They giving it code names. All right? But when we read it, you're going to see that it has to be talking about that. Now, it says no one is safe until all are safe. Now let's get a couple of scriptures before we go on. All right. First scripture is 1 Corinthians 2 and 11. All right. I'm sorry, 2 Corinthians 2 Corinthians 2 and 11, all right? We know through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shai that this man is planning all of this, all right? He's getting ready to make these things happen, and it's going to really bring great fear upon the people out here. Okay, he got past the first phase of deceiving people to take that. You know what? He needed that, all right, because that's gonna make this for his final trick. This is what's gonna really sell it, okay? Because now he has access to the people through the technology he's given them, and he's gonna be able to, make it do what it do. All right. And ultimately, the Heavenly Father is going to give him the green light. And that's pursuing Ezekiel, the 21st chapter. That sword that's being sharpened. Okay. He's going to get busy with his technology that he's been given. Trust and believe that. Okay. 2 Corinthians 2 and 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us. Who is the us? The elect. All right, he ain't get advantage of us through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Shema Shai, because we see him. The Most High has us to where we can see this devil a mile away. We see what he's up to. Okay, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, in his devices we see him. This paperwork, this shit that he got prepared. This is his devices. All right. Now it says, as has often been said, no one is safe until all are safe. And this has been his sentiment throughout history. Okay, because this is the spirit Antiochus had. Okay. Okay, this is the spirit Antiochus surname Epiphanes had, all right? Daniel 8 and 25, all right? This was specifically dealing with Antiochus Epiphanes, all right? And when we go to the book of Maccabees, let's go there too. Because he came with peaceable words, but all was deceit, okay? All was deceit. Just like what he's talking about now. All is deceit. Let me see. I'm going to just type it in. See if I can just go right to it. Bear with me a second. Yep. First Maccabees 1 and 30. But first, let's read this one in Daniel. All right. Daniel 8 and 25. Again, this has been this devil's sentiment throughout history. And this is specifically dealing with Antiochus. All right. It says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. All right. And this is what Antiochus did. He came in the name of peace and destroyed many. All right. So applying that to today's Edomites, they in that same Antiochus spirit. All right. By saying they want all people safe, no one is safe until all is safe, is basically the same thing that Antiochus did. All right. They speak peaceably. All right. But war is in their heart. Let's get that in the book of Psalms. Okay. You got to know how these devils talk, man. Okay. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. And going back to this manifesto of this preparedness for this next shenanigans that they're gonna pull. If you reading it without any understanding of knowing who this devil is and how he operates, you would think that he truly is looking out for the people. You truly would think that. But that's not the case. All right? He truly wants to murder people. And he is going to murder billions of people. All right? He's going to murder people. Okay? And not think twice about it. Okay? So back in Daniel again, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his heart, and by peace shall destroy many. He shall also stand up against the prince of princes, but shall be broken without hand. All right. Now, let's go to the book of Maccabees. This is the actual scriptures on it in more detail. Okay. I'm gonna start at let's start at 28. Okay, it says the land also was moved for the inhabitants thereof, and all the house of Jacob was covered with confusion. And you see that now, just as it was back then. You see it now. Jake is so confused and out of their damn mind, they don't see what's coming. All right. Jake was confused in 2020. All right. And they still confused even more so because they went right back to sleep. All right. It says, and after 2 years fully expired, the king sent his chief collector of tribute unto the cities of Judah, who came unto Jerusalem with a great multitude. All right. And spake peaceable words unto them. Again, this is their sentiment. The devil ain't gonna come being mean. You know, he gotta befriend you first. All right. A lot of you were befriended by the jump shot while he was rubbing his hands together with that evil grin on his face, telling you everything is gonna be all right. Here it is, 2 years, almost 3 years after they rolled out the jump shot. You got pro athletes falling over. All right. They covering up deaths. You know, we talking about millions of people have dropped because of the jump shot. All right. Because you were fooled by his peaceable words. Okay. It says, and spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. This is the sentiment of Esau Edom. This is his character. Okay. This is his character, the devil. Okay? He will shake your hand and promise something to you with his finger crossed behind his back. All right? That's how this man does. That's why it is written. Matter of fact, let me get that. Let me pull up another King James Bible online. Okay. This is it here. Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, and I believe I'm gonna start at 10. Yeah, verse 10. It says, "Never trust thine enemy." Okay, our number one enemy is Esau, Edom. If you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans haven't figured it out yet, the number one enemy to us as a people is Esau, Edom, who is the so-called white man. All right, the self-proclaimed white man. All right. He's the number one enemy. It says, "Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed, and beware of him, and thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." Point blank, period. All right, that's why we didn't take the jump shot, because we don't trust this devil. Okay, he has a track record of saying one thing and doing the total opposite and acting like he didn't just straight up lie. Okay, he has his whole history is of that. He told the Native American Indians, "We're gonna make these treaties and we're gonna share the land." And he broke every last one of the treaties, and he ain't sharing nothing but reservations with no electricity, no running water, no plumbing system with some of the Gadites, with a lot of the Gadites. All right, that's out on these reses. Okay, and act like he ain't did nothing. This is the devil we talking about. This is our enemy. Okay. It says, "Set him not by thee, lest when he have overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place." And that's what he did with the tribe of Gad. That's what he did with the tribe, all the tribes. Isaiah the 14th chapter, "I shall sit upon the mount of the congregation." He stood up in our place, calling himself us in our land. All right. It says, "Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words and be pricked therewith." All right. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with this serpent? And that's what a lot of you were bitten by this serpent when he told you go out and wait in line at an amusement park or at a hospital or a high school or a college, and we'll have a drive-through. Give me your arm. All right. You were bitten by the serpent that charmed you. All right. Or you were charmed by you were playing with the damn devil and he bit you. Okay. Or any such as come nigh wild beasts. All right. Ain't nobody. There's no pity for you. All right. First and foremost, the prophets were warning you. Okay. Now, back in First Maccabees 1:30, it says, "And spake peaceable words unto them, but all was deceit. For when they had given him credence, he fell suddenly upon the city." And I could see this happening, all over again. Because Jake just lost his hell. All right? Esau gonna fall suddenly upon you tribes, man, and there's nothing gonna you're not gonna be able to do anything. Okay, you're gonna go right into his FEMA centers to get fitted for that MOTB, that digital identification that's gonna be able to tell them everything they need to know, whether you complied, whether you went and got tested, whether you took the jump shot, all right, when you took the jump shot, how many jump shots, all that. And we're gonna go back to the article and I'm gonna show you that's what they getting ready for, man. All right. See, they push that all on you in your face for a year, almost 2 years. You know what I'm saying? That's all they was talking about. But now they talking about blackouts and climate change. But they ain't just put that on the and start off. Now we gonna scrap that. We gonna scrap the jump shot. We gonna scrap all that. No, they gonna bring that right along with so-called climate change and these blackouts and this new outbreak that's gonna take place. All right, and they gonna merge them all together. All right, and put holy hell, pressure from above and pressure from below. All right. They gonna squeeze you. Okay? It says again, starting at the top, verse 30, and spake peaceable words unto them, which all was deceit. Okay? So when you hear this devil talking about peace and how he want to help the people, just know it's all bullshit. You know, he talking out the side of his mouth. He lying. It says, for when they had given him credence, and that's what Jake did. They gave him credence. All right? And a lot of you Drakes gonna get these devils credence. You got a lot of niggas begging for Trump now. And Trump is a part of the whole scandal of this whole thing, man. Okay? It says, he fell suddenly upon the city and smote it very sore and destroyed much people of Israel. Okay? And a lot of our people are going to die. Point blank, period. There's no getting around it, man. You gotta go. Okay? Because you refuse to return to Yahweh by Shem Shai and you trusted in oppression. All right? Now let's go back to this article. Okay? Lord will, I'll remember to put these in the description box because I don't want, if I read through all of it, it's going to take forever. I'm talking about these down here. The manifesto, the framework, okay? All this plan that these devils got. But what stuck out to me when I was reading this article was this line here, where it says, I'm going to read this paragraph here. It says, collectively, the pandemic treaty and proposed IHR amendments will greatly expand the WHO's powers. Specifically, these instruments will give WHO new powers to target misinformation and disinformation. We see that happening now. Cutting videos, this, that, and the third. Grow its surveillance systems. We see that happening now. All right? They trying to mirror what China is doing. Okay? It says, and roll out global jump shot passports and other forms of digital tracking. Okay, and what I did is I clicked this. I wanted to see what this was all about, what they was talking about. So, I skimmed through it. As you can see, World Health Organization pushes for global jump shot passports. All right? So I scrolled and I was skimming through it. And here we go here. And I read from here down. I was like, oh, this sounds just like the C-HIP technology, but worded different. Okay? Now let's read. It says, new text has been added that allows member states to require documents containing misinformation for a lab test in digital or physical format and information on jump shot against a disease. All right? See, this first go round that happened, they really wasn't, they was forcing it, but they really couldn't force it. They threatened you. It was a bluff. They called a lot of your bluffs and a lot of you folded because you didn't want to lose your job. How I'ma feed my family. This, that, and the third. Okay? But this time, this go round, it's gonna be a lot strict, and you literally won't be able to work or do anything unless you have this new ish. All right? And they're gonna justify it by unaliving a lot of people through the technology that's floating around in their bloodstream. Oh yeah, you watch and wait. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai is getting ready to do the damn thing. Okay? It says another amendment states that documents containing misinformation concerning travelers' destination should preferably be produced in digital form. Okay? Digital form. And this is that C-HIP technology. Okay? With paper form as a residual option. So they really ain't, because they're going to say paper form can be forged. All right? Hey, they were forging those paper forms when the 2021 rollout happened. Jake was buying them. You know, Jake was getting them from you had officials, actual doctors and politicians buying them from doctors, man. Buying them from nurse assistants and things of that nature. They were selling them. So that's out the window. The paper form. And they're gonna tell you, in order to reduce that type of scheming, for lack of a better word, we need this thing digital. And we need everyone to have their own digital ID and personal number. Watch, it's going to tell you. And the only way that's going to happen, all right, is through the C-HIP. Okay? It says, with paper form as a residual option, and suggests that this will be used for contact tracing. One amendment paves the way for other types of proofs and certificates. I wonder what's the other types. Let's read. It says, which may be designed by Health Assembly, the WHO's decision-making body, and will be used to attest the holder's status as having a decreased risk of being the disease carrier. These other proofs include test certificates, which provide proof someone has been tested for a disease, and recovery certificates, which provide proof someone has recovered from a disease. Not only do these proposed amendments to the IHR push for post-COVID jump shot passports, digital proofs, and digital certificates, but they also state that the jump shot certificate should be considered approved. Okay? And that's what is gonna happen when you and your family is in one of them FEMA centers. All right. This is gonna be the only way that you're gonna be approved, because it won't be approved unless it's in the form of that C-HIP, guaranteed. Okay, they're not gonna accept no paperwork. They're not gonna accept none of that. This is the end game, is the C-HIP. And they ain't got much time, okay? It says, when the WHO has declared a public health emergency of international concern, and there's a scenario of voluntary jump shot using products still at the research phase or subject to very limited availability. Additionally, the mandate that digital health documents incorporate means to verify their authenticity via retrieval from an official website, such as a QR code. So all they got to do is scan that C-HIP, and all the information they need is going to pop up. You watch and see. All right? They done already spent billions, and they preparing for this thing to go all the way live real soon. Okay? You watch and see. Like Apostle Tahar says, you watch and wait till they set up them C-HIP stations. That's going to be your only way to get approval that you okay to get their safety, to get food and water. All right, and ultimately you're just going to be had in you're going to be had in derision and trodden underfoot at the end of the day. Okay? It says, and it doesn't end there. Okay, these proposed amendments also lay out a minimum and maximum scenario for the data to be collected via this proposed jump shot passport and digital certificate scheme. Come on now. Come on now. What is that? It has to be the C-HIP. Without them saying it's the C-HIP. All right? It's all going to be tied into one, right along with the CBDC. It's all going to be tied together. All right? Because going back to this here, I think, yeah. Is this the one I was reading? Hold on. Because this, let me see. Salakia. It's one of these. I think it's back on the black news, blacklisted news. But we'll go back to it. But let me finish this. All right. It says, at minimum, the WHO wants jump shot tests and recovery certificates to contain a person's name, national identity number, all right, passport number, type of jump shot batch number, date of administration, place of administration, and an official stamp. Come on, man. That's the C-HIP. Okay? It's go. I mean, you can see this thing coming. Clear as day. Clear as day. This is what's coming. Okay? It says, in the maximum scenario, WHO wants these digital certificates to contain all of the data from the minimum scenario, plus a person's jump shot history and a QR code that supports the retrieval of jump shot information. Okay? Not no cell phone. They would have said phone or app. Nah, this is dealing with that C-HIP. All right? The hour of temptation is upon us. Matter of fact, let's go there, since I just quoted it. All right? And there's no excuse. The Most High has the Spirit upon his prophets, his men, to bring all this information out one way or another. All right? Constantly bringing it out. This is Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. Speaking about the elect. Let me put this in red. All right? Yahweh Shai's words, man. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So the Lord is going to keep us from when all these things roll out that we were just reading. Everything that's getting ready to roll out as far as, this preparedness, the WHO pandemic preparedness plan. And, once it goes down, the actual guidelines and laws that every citizen will have to abide by. All this that we just read, the Lord is going to keep us from all this, because he's going to give us the spirit to resist it. Or he may just straight up hide us from it. All right? But the elect will have the spirit to resist this shit, because the Lord has given us this knowledge. Remember, Isaiah 33:6. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of the times. See, when this actually goes full live and Jake sees people falling over, coughing up blood, blood coming out their ass, eyes, nostrils, ears, convulsing on the ground. You know how much fear that's going to generate? And not just one or two people. We talking about millions. All right? I'll never forget Zaquan Shapat out in Indiana. He had a dream that this type of shit happened, where people were just on the ground convulsing and through. And basically it was overwhelming. Like in the movies. Watch the beginning scene of the movie Cell. That type of turmoil and chaos. Okay? That's going to generate fear. All right? And the Lord is going to keep it. He's given us the knowledge and wisdom. All right? Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right? Not the fear of Esau, Edom, the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Because we know this devil ain't doing nothing the Most High ain't tell him to do. Okay? So going back to Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth. This is going to be a worldwide thing. This is why they have 196 and counting countries that are involved in this. Okay? 190, the whole planet, basically, is under the web of this devil. Okay? And it's going to come upon all the world. And I believe this word here, world, is oinkamene. Okay? Let's look it up real quick. That's right, oinkamene, which means the inhabited earth. This is going to be a global thing. Okay? It's going to be a global thing. This is why going back to these manifestos, this is all global. Okay? This ain't just America. It's going to happen all over. Okay? So the Lord is going to keep us. Okay? Even if some of us get captured. Let's go to the second chapter. This is what the Lord said in Revelation 2 and 10. It says, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Because when they roll out this and they start to enforce these things, it's not going to be like it was in 2021, where you got U.S. police marching in the streets telling you to get back inside, man. Man, it's going to be far worse and far scarier, because not only is it going to be them, the forces out there, but they're going to be out there, with the whole hazardous gear, with dead bodies all around. Who going to want to come out their house in that day? All right? So the fear is going to be real. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, into these holding centers, FEMA centers. Because we don't want to comply, they're gonna want to lock us up and take us to these holding facilities. All right? Barbed wire fence. Okay? Turning these Walmarts into FEMA centers. All right? This is what the scriptures is talking about right here. Okay? The devil shall cast some of you into prison. Esau, Edom is the devil. Okay? That ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. And with knowing this knowledge through the scriptures, and then we actually seeing it on this man's paperwork and things of that nature, why wouldn't you be faithful unto death? This is why you got to pray for the Lord to continuously build your faith. All right? But the elect, they're going to be faithful even if it means death. All right? And the Lord is going to give us that crown of life. Okay? Salakia. So, as you can see, the technology is already here. The paperwork is already ready to go. All right? They just waiting on this next simulation, this next crisis. All right? They calling it, it's going to be a simulation, but it's going to be the real thing. All right? It's not going to be for fake. It's going to be the real thing. And a lot of people will be caught off guard because they really weren't paying attention. Even those who are so-called woke, when they see all them dead bodies, when they see people, when they see loved ones convulsing, you know, nothing to do that they can help, they going to truly think that it's a disease out here, not knowing the disease was in that jump shot the whole time. And now Esau get to roll out the big toys and direct the traffic. All right? Right along with famine, right along with blackouts, right along with climate change, heat waves all throughout the goddamn place. All right? Here it is. It's about to be July. We haven't had 100 degree day in California, Southern California. Not one. And that's unheard of. Okay? That is unheard of here in Southern California, man. But you know where all that heat is being directed? The South. Throughout the breadbasket of America. They telling people from Texas all the way to, I believe, Virginia, if I'm not mistaken, or a little bit inward east, to expect heat waves. A lot of them. More than 100-degree weather, all right? You know, and it's going to be dangerous, and it could put out power. All right, which we know what this devil is up to, man. We know the type of technology the Lord has given them. Like I said, or like we read earlier, all right? Never trust thine enemy. Don't trust what this damn devil is saying. Trust in Yahweh Shem Shai, because his whole deal is to deceive you to receive his mark. And we'll end it with that scripture in the book of Revelation. All right? Let's see. Salakia. This is a good one, but this isn't the one I wanted. Now ultimately, this period is it happened. All right. This was the period of what Esau deems the Dark Ages or the Middle Ages, and he claims that he knows nothing about this time, which is bullshit. This is when Esau was under the foot of Jake, when Jake was calling themselves the Moors. All right. He was the wild man out in the woods. All right. And what Jake would do would clean up the white woman and pop her. All right. And make babies. This is where your Italians come from. All right. Sicilians. All right. This is how Jake is coming looking like the other nations. But that's a video for another time. All right. So it says, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. And this man is loose. This is the time he's loosed. And shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. And we are on the verge of the grand scheme deceiving that this man is getting ready to pull off. All right? Gog and Magog together together to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. We see that happening, World War III being brewed up. Okay? And they went up on the breadth of the earth and compassed the camp of the saints about. All right? And the beloved city. And fire came down from the Most High out of heaven and devoured them, the missiles. All right? Because, like I said earlier, all these nations are up against the children of Israel. This is what this is all about. Make no mistakes about it. Okay? And the devil that deceived them, okay, because he's going to deceive a lot of people, was cast into the lake of fire and brimstone, where the beast and the false prophet are, and shall be tormented day and night forever and ever. All right? And that's when them nuclear missiles actually touch down. All right? Let me type in this word, deceive by itself. See if I can get the scripture I'm thinking of. It's on the tip of my brain. Let me see. Salakia. We know this scripture by heart, all right, because, okay, here we go. I think this is it. Okay, it says, Revelation 13:13. I'm going to start there. It says, and he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, all right, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And ultimately, the image of the beast is this new world order, okay? Which had the wound of a sword, which goes back to the Roman Empire. So this beast is a beast on steroids, all right? Beefy, total control, all right? With this technology. So he gonna deceive you. You already seeing the commercials. You're seeing the podcasts on how great this technology is. Neuralink, how a man wasn't able to use his lower extremities, but they put a chip in his brain and he's able to move again and move his legs and things of that nature. These are the miracles. Okay? It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So whoever ain't down with this whole shindig, who not down with the way they finna run this, I'm sorry, wrong one. The way they finna run this system, all right, if you're not down with it, remember it says, let's go back to that part again. All right, in the maximum scenario, all right, the who warns these digital certificates to contain all of the data from the minimum scenario plus a person's jump shot history and QR code that supports the retrieval of jump shot information. And that's only going to come through that RFID CHIP, which is the MOTB. Okay? That's the only way it's coming. Okay? And they're going to be justified by the shit that they getting ready to bring out here. Okay? Again, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast. If you ain't down with this, All right. This is why it says some of us gonna be cast into prison. All right, and be tried. All right. Of the beast should be killed. All right. And he caused them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. If you're not down with that, that's what that's talking. This is the how you gonna show that you down and you worship. All right, by receiving this mark, which is the C hip. Okay, which they already ready for it. They just waiting for the Most High to give them the green light, and they gonna roll this thing out, man. Okay, it says in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. All right. So this technology is ready. The system is ready. The people are ready. All right. The time is fast approaching to where they're going to roll this thing out full-fledged. And if you ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai within you, and you don't know what the hell's truly going on, you're going to fold and crack to this tyranny that's coming, this tyranny that's coming by this devil. All right, it's gonna get real rough and tough out here, and only the elect, who are not deceived by the bullshit, who are walking in no fear, all right, and who are guided by the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, will be protected, them and their households. So with that, Lord will, this was edifying and informative to the hopeful elect, giving all praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and it's on to the next video. Shalom.